Hi, my name's Derick. I'm part of Push Group as a paid media executive. I predominantly work in the Google search and Bing side. Today, I'm here to cover digital seasonality, specifically seasonality, how you understand that for your business. So, what's your unique seasonality? How do you develop the understanding of those peaks and troughs? Um, how to plan ahead using that knowledge, how to strategize your accounts, beyond that, and also a case study of how I've married these things together to increase some results for one of my clients. Firstly, understanding your seasonality in theory. Key areas you want to think about is your business and industry, your product and service, and really and truly your audience, because that's who you're trying to reach. And they're the ones in season. Um, they're the ones who we want to reach whilst they're in their highest intensity of purchase behavior. So, firstly, what does your business represent, and therefore, who does it attract? What can you attribute to your business that will group your target audience whilst they have that high buying intent? Um, then we can move down to the product or service. When, why, and how will your customers be buying your products? And again, that goes down to your audience. So, for example, if you're a wedding planning company, when your audiences will be in their highest intent stages is usually during wedding seasons. So, as I understand, that is around August. So, what you'd want to do is upweight your marketing strategies in that specific time frame to make sure you're putting yourselves in front of your customers when they are ready to purchase your products or services. So it's all good and well understanding that in theory. However, we have tools that allow us to make clearer, cleaner, and more concise decisions um, with data. So you have Keyword Planner. This allows you to understand and plan for what keywords to use. So how people search for these keywords, how often they search per month, and if you should include those within your campaigns. You lay this down again into Google Analytics and Google Ads data. This is data that you'd need some history behind. So you'd want some time on Google Analytics and Google Ads for this to work. And what this really shows you is if you've, let's say, had 2 to 3 years on the platform, you can then go back and view yearly trends and see repeating trends for peaks and troughs and make decisions based upon that. Again, some seasonality is very consistent year on year, and others can be sparked from certain events that year. That's where Google Trends comes into play. You can use Google Trends to see what keywords are trending in that specific time that you are looking within that tool, and it will give you those insights to make better data-driven decisions. And of course, don't forget your competitors. When they are running seasonal campaigns, will give you an idea of the tactics that they're using and also allow you to overtake and upweight your marketing to compete. So now you've got an understanding of how to unravel what seasonality is for your unique business. And think about how you can now plan ahead. So there's a few ways I use to really do this efficiently and effectively. You have seasonal calendars. This is really good if, let's say, you are a new business starting out and you don't have that historical data. You can make assumptions based on your industry, based on your product and service, and then build a calendar out using that, a 12-month calendar, for example. And then you can overlay that as well with content calendars. So that's rather than things repeating on an annual basis, these will be specific events that year that may resonate with your customer that you can then use to target and target them using this messaging around that specific event. You can create and store seasonal campaigns. So what this really does is make it really easy for you to transition from these periods. You can create these in advance, and when you're ready, click pause or click enable and really set these campaigns to go live. There's no downtime, there's no waiting time. You can do these at clicks of buttons. And then you have seasonal budgets. I'll go into that in a bit more detail, but again, it will be upweighting and downweighting your budgets according to your seasonal peaks and troughs. So this, married with understanding your unique seasonality, gives you a bit of structure, a bit of understanding on where your unique seasonality is. Now, how do we strategize on the back of that? So, seasonal strategy. There are specific areas that you can focus on that really will work for all campaigns. Of course, there are, this is not limited to these things. However, again, you can see budgets there. You want to upweight and downweight your budgets when you're approaching known seasonal peaks and troughs. You want to adapt your ad copy, be creative, and capture your audience with features of your product that kind of matter to them at that specific time. And that's the really important part of having this creative ad copy and marrying it with your seasonal trends. And again, your audience. Your audience will be your most powerful and, in most cases, your cheapest point of interaction or sale, depending on how you do that. So if you know your audiences that have interacted with you before, you can then target them at your seasonal peaks. For example, Black Friday is a really, really good example of this. A lot of marketers will, for 2 to 3 months before Black Friday, build first-party data, build through various other campaigns. But they know that Black Friday is the peak of all peaks for them. And what they will do is then collect that audience data and then remarket heavily over the Black Friday period. And this has worked very, very well time and time again. But again, understand that there are known seasonal events such as Black Friday, but there are also these one-off events through the year that you can also use to resonate with your audience further. So that's all good and well. Let me show you how I've pulled these kind of areas together to uplift a client's results. So my client is a lawn care company, and to give you a bit of an understanding, they were in the month of July, and that is a seasonal peak for the company as they perform well in summer. That's when more people are getting lawn treatments. And specifically at this month of this year, we had the Euros, the football Euros going on, and England had actually successfully gone through to the finals. Now, what that gave me was a 3-day window gap to really think about, okay, we're in our annual seasonal peak, but there's also something that collates the whole of England. At least we target the whole of UK, but at least the whole of England. We could target that location and use specific messaging that will facilitate clicks and interest. And that's higher than usual. So the way I went about it was understanding what is trending. I know football is trending, but what exactly about it is trending? And what came to light after using Google Trends is that a lot of football is coming home, and those types of messaging and keywords were really, really trending at that time and peaking. So again, we're marrying the annual peak that I know my client has with the trending peak that I see happening as an unrelated matter. And the core objective around this campaign, this 3-day campaign, was really to increase click-through rates, generate that interest, and collate that audience together. So now it's not just people interested in home and gardens, it's people who want to have a nice garden for the Euro final, let's say. So What campaigns do I implement on? I've only got a 3-day window. I need to be efficient. I need to be fast. I need to be quick. So what I did was I utilized what we call campaign experiments in Google Ads. I'll take you in on how to do this in just a second. And what I did was create that experiment campaign, create the seasonal ad copies for this unique time to really capture the audience. And here's an example of what that looked like. So it says, get your lawn football ready, contact us. Football's coming home, very trending term. Let me move this out of the way. Get your lawn treatment today for a football-worthy lawn this Sunday. We offer a free, no obligation lawn analysis to assess your lawn's condition. Book today. So very concise, very to the point, and also just has those connotations of football. And around that time, the whole of the audience that were in England were very in tune with this particular event as well. And to show you the results on the back of that, so I did say I will take you on how the experiment campaign works. So what you can do is use an existing campaign, which is really efficient because it uses all the keyword targeting that is present there, the audience targeting, the bidding strategies, and the bids and budgets as well, and literally splits that campaign into two. So that's why we have brand and experiment. And you can decide how much of that daily budget you want to attribute to your experiment. So you can attribute 50%, 60%, 70%. So it will be 50-50, 60-40, 70-30, depending on how you preempt that campaign to do. So I went with a 50-50 split. And you can see that it was a 3-day window. There wasn't a huge amount of time, but I've whittled it down to the key metrics here, which is the click-through rate, the conversions, how much each conversion cost for the company, and the conversion rates as well. This bottom line here is the overall account metrics of July. So we can see here that overall click-through rate of the account on that month was nearly 20%. However, the click-through rate of these specific campaigns with that specific ad copy had around 54 and 53% click-through rates. And on top of that, you've got hugely reduced cost per conversions, lower than half of what we've seen as an account average. So this has enabled us to bring that account average down and also increase the conversion rate as well. And to give you an idea of how that has impacted them following this month, we were able to see that brand lift continue and interest continue into one of the seasonal troughs that we see in August, and grow the account by 680% year on year. So all in all, very quick, very easy experiment, and pulling all of these areas together to build success for the customer. There is one other area I wanted to touch upon. Thank you for listening. One quick area I want to touch upon before leaving is a really good tool on Google Ads when it loads. So what you can do is click on Tools and Settings, go into Bid Strategies. So this is part of the strategizing area. You want to go to Advanced Controls, click that little plus button, and you can see seasonality adjustments. So you can name that whatever you want, have a description so you know what's happening in that time frame, select a start date and time and a finish date and time as well. You can also select which channels you want to prioritize. Video is unavailable for this, unfortunately. And further, you can choose specific accounts, you can choose specific campaigns. Really powerful optimization features here. And again, if you know that previous customers and historical data shows you that, okay, computers convert more, or mobile phones convert more, or tablets convert more, you can prioritize that here as well. And again, if it is, again, like a sale that you're doing for 3 days and you want to expect your conversion rates to increase by 50%, well, that's what you can put here, and the campaign will gear itself to achieve that. So I hope that's helped. If you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.